Philosophers have said that there are only 7 stories we keep retelling throughout history. Tonight, we're going to pick one and tell it again. This is The Treatment, a podcast about stories with your hosts Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. The Treatment is filmed above a live studio audience.
So don't drop anything.
Would have been perfect if our upstairs neighbor just dropped something right now.
Don't worry, he will. We have plenty of time. We have usually about 2.5 hours, during which
gets boiled down to about a tight 1:30.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes I get it under that. I think. No, not the last one. Speaking of the last one, Mark, has anyone reviewed our last effort, Those Who Are Not?
Yes, there are a lot of positive reviews, like this one from the AV Club. It's a film with its own identity. The simple, thrilling story of a handsome god who falls to Earth and reminds everyone what heroes do. High praise from the AV Club for Those Who Are Not, our adaptation of Hercules.
You know, we can always trust the AV Club to pick up what we're putting down.
So what's on the circle today, Bill?
Oh, same old shit. We've got Itsy Bitsy Spider, the Iliad, the Boy Who Likes Clowns, the Brave Little Tailor, the Pardoner's Tale, Snow Queen, Pandora, Little Bo Peep, and Cinderella. Let's give it a whirl. I had a feeling today, considering I actually scanned the Wikipedia article for this today. It has been on here for forever. It's Little Bo Peep.
Is it the only original one left?
It's the only one of the original 9 left. Yes. So, Little Bo Peep is the tale of a woman, not a girl, a woman who happens to be of smaller stature, Cody, you can relate, who loses her sheep, and when she eventually finds her sheep, they come back and they either do have all of their tails, or they don't. And in the versions where they don't, she goes out and she hunts the people who cut off their tails, I think.
As the Wikipedia.
Also, I absolutely put this on here, and it, months ago, when we started this podcast. And it wasn't till today that I realized this is not Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh my god.
So, I don't have much to say about it because it is a very short story.
So, she does not, per the Wikipedia, which I just pulled up, in the additional verses, she does not necessarily hunt down the people who cut off the tails. She just tries to reattach them to the lambs.
Maybe I imagined the hunting down. Mark, I assume you're still reading the wiki?
Yeah, there's not a lot to it, but also I'm not super familiar with Little Bo Peep.
Yeah, I realized that too when I read it. That I think it's more of an English thing than an American.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot. The earliest record of this rhyme is a manuscript from 1805. Some people claim there's references to a children's game called Bo Peep, which is thought to refer to peekaboo, but there's no evidence that the Little Bo Peep rhyme existed prior to the 1800s.
Yeah. So, at its core, we have a story where a woman loses something valuable and must regain it and make sure that it is whole on its return. Now, I guess the first question we can answer, do we go literal or do we go metaphorical?
I don't think there's enough to go literal.
Yeah, it would be like one of those children's very explicitly cartoon for children with a moral. Like, hi there, it's Shelley Duvall fairy tale shit.
Full Little Red Hen?
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we fully continue on, is this, and I'm going to say no before I even suggest it, is this a B.B. Wolf joint?
No, because there's a human in this one.
Fair.
There were humans in other B.B. Wolf things.
Yeah, we just turned them into animals.
That's true.
No, remember there was the husband
His
in
dad?
Wolf Party, a pig party joint. No, the groom.
He was just a dude.
Who was a fan of... Yeah, he was a Canadian.
Oh, yeah! I forgot we BoJack Horseman did.
That's right, he was just a dude. Well, the Canadians, they're all animals. Please let me in the country when we need to escape.
Do we want to go in the realm of Jack and the Beanstalk?
Like a magical realism tone? Do we want to do...
Kind of where, everything is literally happening, but it's still we kind of change and play with the setting. Like, is she literally a farmer who loses her sheep?
An idea that just came to me. Slasher movie.
Like...
Because there's a version of the rhyme where they come back without their tails.
I'm getting, like, Agatha Christie, and then there were none vibes.
I'm thinking more... What's an example in the genre that kind of fits the tone, what I'm going for?
I feel like it's...
Like, there's a an underseen slasher film called April Fools. Or it might be April Fool's Day, I'm not sure. And it's... That might not even be the best example, but like the idea I'm thinking of is, you know, a young farmer with her flock or whatever that would be, and something keeps happening to them when she's not watching. So like the energy of like Signs, or not the energy, but like the setting of Signs, and the energy of like a Friday the 13th without as much gore, because I know Mark's not a big fan of gore.
I am not.
If we're doing slasher, which I'm on board with you, do we want to go full slasher and it's some sort of like farm or country summer camp? Like you send your kid to horse camp for the summer?
4-H.
4-H does camps?
Probably. I don't know. I was a scout, not a farmer.
Because I'm just thinking like we can take summer camp and make it a... Because then you'll also have the age range, which is like, you know, 12 to 17.
Yes, 4-H does camps.
Okay.
Okay, I'm searching for just basically the key elements of slasher movies. So this is from industrialscripts.com. A psychopathic killer whose backstory is revealed. A setting and location, you set a time. Weapon of choice, multiple victims, characters split up. Stranded signals, jump scares, illogical thinking. Killer resurrects. Final girl, and a killer ending. Now, we don't necessarily need to do every element of that.
I know we've done this before. Do we want Little Bo Peep to be the killer? A la Friday the 13th. Avenging...
A la Friday the 13th Part 5 or whatever one where it wasn't really Jason?
No, I'm saying, like, the... Sorry, Mark, if you...
I could see Mark glazing over.
Spoilers for
a movie you'll never watch.
Yeah. His mom is avenging the wrong done to her son by killing the kids at the camp. Was there a wrong that happened to Little Bo Peep at this camp and she comes back and starts taking out the campers? Or...
Maybe slasher's not quite the right vibe. Maybe more of, like, thriller mystery? I think that's going to be more in our collective wheelhouse.
Okay.
Because I can already tell... Sorry, Mark.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit tired, and I'm focusing my eyes while also trying to corral some thoughts.
I just know that your references of slasher movies are going to be a lot fewer than a wider scope of, like, a psychological thriller or...
Yeah, but psychological thriller is also hard.
Yeah.
And we've only done that, like, at least twice.
Ratcatcher of Hamelin was good, though.
That's not even one of the ones I was thinking of. I was thinking of Bridegroom.
Oh, Bridegroom was good, too.
See, I'm thinking of the campers being the little sheep.
Yeah.
And the slasher being the one that cuts off their tails.
So...
But it's not tails, it's just slashing their little bellies open and the guts.
Now, I want to make a call here. If we're going to do a camp and it's involving children, I don't want the children killed. Traumatized, but not killed.
When I say children, I mean, like, teenagers. Like, 15. Would we be cool assaulting 14 to 18-year-old?
Well, none of the sheep get murdered either.
That's true.
I'm just thinking the elements of that.
It could also just be people... Yes, you have a thought.
When we went to the Academy Award-nominated animated shorts,
yes.
There was that French one about kissing.
Yes.
And, like, you'd get the glow when you first had that kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Slasher / coming of age.
Okay.
So our Bo Peep character would be either a teacher, camp counselor, works, something like that. And all of her campers go missing, and they come back different. And the mystery is what happened to them. And it's some sort of, like, actual coming of age event. Mark, a reference you'll understand. The, Wet Hot American Summer, I think it was first day of camp, or one of the TV shows, when the little girl got her period, and then the actress changed to, like, a 35-year-old woman.
First day of camp.
Yeah.
So, do we want it to be something scary? bad, or do we want it to be...
Well, I mean, when you're a kid, all of that is scary. Because it's unknown. That's what makes things scary. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
So we can tonify it however we want. It could be as simple as a group of girls at summer camp start getting their periods.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable telling that story, Mr. Dude with a Penis. Do you want to tell me more about the experience?
So when I had my first period, I put it at the end of a sentence.
Okay.
And it was this one.
So, vibes of Stand By Me. There's a legend at this camp that, maybe not that there's a dead body, but there's something at this camp that you can find, but it's a dangerous place to get there, and it's like a badge of honor if you do it. And the girls go, but they don't come back, and it's because one of them gets hurt. And so Bo Peep has to go rescue them. And in that case, the metaphorical tail cutting could be a broken arm, other various injuries.
Yeah, I'm thinking the metaphorical tail cutting is not the loss of youth, but like growing up, you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking there's two main plot lines, and one is what the kids are actually doing and how they're growing. And maybe it's something like seeing a dead body, or the boys find the porn stump in the woods. Children, when Mark and I were growing up, you would literally find pornography in the woods, and sometimes that was the only way you could get pornography.
Yes, the mystical porn stump in the woods. In the before times.
Everyone knows about the porn stump in the woods.
Pornography.
But
I was watching pornography.
But then the other plot line is the Bo Peep, the camp counselor, teacher, whatever she is, not understanding that what's happening is something that every child must go through, and thinks that something terrible is happening. And she's trying to unravel this mystery, because the kids aren't talking to her.
So she's kind of just like neurotic teenager with maybe a little bit too much responsibility?
Yeah.
Or neurotic young adult with maybe a little bit too much responsibility that takes this job a little bit too seriously?
Yeah, like maybe even like in her 20s, freshly married, thinking about having kids, so she takes a job as a camp counselor to be around kids, and she doesn't, because it's been long enough, and she's been engrossed in her own life, that she doesn't understand what it's like to grow up anymore. Something that I think a lot of adults need to remember, that growing up is a really fucking tough time, and we need to give kids a lot more leeway than a lot of parents do.
Just as a rebuttal to that statement, Bill.
Yeah?
6'7".
I don't think he knows that joke. The youths have started saying 6'7" as a reaction to 6'9".
Not even as a reaction to 6'9", just any time.
Yeah.
Just 6'7".
It's a new meme.
That and start digging in yo butt, twin.
You know what?
If anything, we're not hard enough on the young people today.
No. Let the kids have their stupid memes. Because when they become our age, they will, on their long-ass drives to work, think about the stupid things they said and did when they were kids and cringe real hard, and then they'll get it.
How do you know about 6'7"? You're not around children.
He's on TikTok a lot, though. We've ruined him with that.
You know what I say to that, Bill?
I swear to God, if you say 6'7", I'm gonna disconnect.
Start digging in your butt, twin. While we're totally off subject, I have this intrusive thought, and I need to get it out of my head. While you guys are talking about Stand By Me, which is a movie I don't care for, and slashers, which is a genre I don't care for, I've been thinking about a really muscular young man who's trying to find protein in a gym, and that's Little Bo Peep. Yeah, no, you're right to do that, but I can't get this little, teeny tiny little, swollen up gym bro.
You can just say Joe Rogan, it's fine.
No, like smaller and human.
Now, if this was a podcast in which we turned various nursery rhymes and public domain tales and whatnot into TikTok sketches, excellent. Let's start shooting. It's not. We gotta try and stretch this 4-line nursery rhyme into a feature length here.
Hey, it's like a solid 16 lines when you add the additional verses.
Not everyone knows. I didn't even know the original verses. Little Bo Peep, she lost her sheep, and then they
doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone, and they'll come home wagging their tails behind them.
Okay, I forgot about the "leave them alone" line, because I think that's important with what we've been building. Is that
everyone else
needs
is
to learn to like let kids grow up on their own and stop hovering.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think there's actually some legs here. So maybe not slasher, but Stand By Me cross.
I was about to ask, are we moving away from slasher? And I'm okay with us moving away.
I think slasher got us to camp, which
I do want us to eventually make a slasher.
We will.
Yeah. But I think we got to the idea of camp from slasher.
Yeah, and I like the idea of camp, because camp is it's a time when kids grow up a bit.
Because it's your first, like, autonomy away from your parents. Where, especially if it's a sleepaway camp, where it's not like you go home and go to dinner with your parents every night. It's, you are alone amongst your peers, and you kind of have to figure it out for a week or 3 or however.
Like, you make new friends and you learn new skills, but you also make new enemies and you learn what you're shit at. Like, It's a time where you're forced to grow up. Just a little bit.
It's also hilarious because The Sims 4 just announced, to date this podcast, The Sims 4 just announced their next expansion pack, which is Adventure Awaits, which explicitly includes summer camps.
Great. And luckily we have a former camp worker on this call.
Yeah.
I was a director, thank you very much.
I didn't want to blow up your scene.
Were you paid like a director?
Were you paid?
I think I was paid better than I probably should have been, or my memory is even worse than I thought it was.
Ooh, dollar goes a lot further in Pennsylvania, my guy.
So
I want us to at least nail down a tone before I start figuring shit out. And I feel like what we're saying is sincere.
Yeah. Sincere. Like, I like bringing up Stand By Me is a great shout, because that kind of tone where there's some comedy, there's some drama, there's some moments of fear and tension, but there's a lot of heart to it and sincerity as well. Like, that's...
I want, like, painful earnestness from everyone involved. Because I think that's kind of where the, like, yes, Little Bo Peep character can be physically short, fuck you, but...
Hey, that's from the Wikipedia.
But also, I think that maybe people call her little because she's maybe a little bit naive. She's still kind of young, but is trying real hard to also grow up. But that just makes it worse, you know?
Yeah, I think we can explore that element of that character. I like the idea of her being ready to become a parent and doing this job and she's even older than the other counselors.
Yeah, I also kind of like that because maybe the other counselors have been doing this for a while, and so she's isolated on that front.
Or even like the other counselors, they're only 18, but they've been going to the camp since they were 8, you know? Mm-hmm. So they know how things work to become a counselor. Whereas she maybe had a completely different experience growing up, never went to a summer camp, maybe she did like badminton school or something. I don't know. What do rich kids do? Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Never went to summer camp, and my parents aren't rich.
I went to a day camp, which is wild because I had family that ran an overnight camp. Not a once did I go. Nope.
They would have put you to work.
Day camp down the street that my other family ran. I probably got in for free just to get me out of the house. But,
So, are we sticking with a farm type theme, or we want to go traditional summer camp?
I think traditional summer camp, but we can have, like, because all the cabins have names. Is that still a thing that kids do?
I think so.
At some camps.
Like, the cabin that we're following is the sheep, and there's another cabin that's the wolves, and another cabin that's the dogs, and, you know, like...
They're all animals.
Yeah. They're all animal-themed. And this would be one of the younger cabins, maybe, like, their first-year campers.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're sheep, and then you become dogs, and then you become wolves, and then you become horses, then you become wolves,
like,
whatever.
Like, the wolves are, like, the 14-year-old boys, like, the oldest boy campers are the wolves.
That's the stinky cabin.
And they like to pick on the sheep. Like the first night they break in and prank them in some way, you know.
Yeah. So is our focus going to be kind of evenly split between Bo Peep and the sheep?
I would say about 60-40 sheep to Bo Peep.
Okay.
We would need to... Most of the story is going to happen with the kids, because I think that's where the heart of this is. That's where the meat is. But cutting back to Bo Peep and how she's handling... 6 of my cabin went missing. All right, kids, how are we going to do this? Are we all going to work together to cover my ass, or, you know, leading a search party or something like that, you know?
Like Ed Norton in Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, another good camp movie. But it's not really a camp movie, but another good camp movie.
Directed by West End of Town.
I love best Manderson movies.
What if the... Okay, you mentioned the wolves picking on the sheep, right?
Yeah.
What if the wolves picking on the sheep kind of gets under their skin and they decide, you know what, we're going to prove that we're just as tough as the wolves. And so they sneak out because they're going to do, like, the same activity that the wolves are doing. And that's how they get lost, is because they do get overwhelmed because it's like a nature hike or something.
Maybe because they're older, the wolves get to do an overnight, like, camp where they, like, go out into the woods and, like, actually, like, pitch tents and cook food and, you know, one of those Johns.
Yeah.
An excursion.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know the camp lore for that.
Or an outpost.
Perfect. So maybe, like, they don't even do that yet. They just know that they're going to do one at the end of the week. And they go, we could do that too. And that's what they're...
We are going to do it first, and we're going to do it better.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't seem so hard. Why don't we get to do that?
Yeah. Like, we're just as tough as they are.
Instead of that, how about we tie it in with the camp and the prank that the older kids do. The camp has, like, the legend of, you know, the Swamp Man. He's a horrible monster with claws, and he sneaks around at night and he gobbles up little kids. And that's like what they do when they scare them the first night is, "Rah, we're the Swamp Man!" And they scare the little kids really bad. So then on then when they figure out it's the older kids laughing at them, they get mad. And the next night they're like, we're going to go out there and find the real Swamp Man. And that's why they go off into, you know, hunting the snipe.
I like that. Suggestion. Now, we mentioned earlier, this is the last thing that was on the wheel day one. Except for one thing. That our first episode was the Jersey Devil. There was something very similar on the wheel that we removed, because it was a little similar. The squonk. Do we want to bring the squonk in?
No.
Are they looking for the squonk, just as a reference?
No.
Okay.
We don't want to make it that specifically Pennsylvania.
No, not specifically Pennsylvania. The squonk is not scary.
Oh, I don't know what the squonk is.
The squonk is an ugly, warty little thing that cries all the time because its skin doesn't fit. You track it by tracking the teardrops that it leaves behind, and when you corner it, it dissolves into a puddle of tears. It is a sad, ugly little thing that you just want to take pity on and feed tacos.
So, Mark, we were asking about the squonk, not about you.
Sorry, it's similar.
Damn, Cody. You don't have to kill him.
Love you, Mark.
Finish the job.
Oh no, the tears!
Oh no.
No, it should be something scary. And ideally something, like, original.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we want to do, like, it's a Sasquatch? But no, we want something like...
Like, unique to the camp, and so it has to be something that we make up.
Okay.
Well, we're naming all of the cabins after animals, right? Is there a... I'm trying to think, like, chimera, centaur...
Chupacabra?
Yeah, like, something that's an animal that...
So...
Because that can also be, like, the name of the camp.
So there used to be, back when my dad used to go to this camp, there used to be an 8th cabin. And this cabin was the Snakes. And they no longer have that cabin, because one night, it was a little rainy, and the thunder was happening over the lake. And the giant mongoose came, and it ate everyone in the snake cabin, and dragged them off into the woods, never to return.
I love that, because it's exactly the kind of dumb shit that a little kid would believe.
It's a little kid would believe it, and a 15-year-old would come up with it.
Yes. Because neither of them are quite sure what a mongoose is.
Like... And they imagine it, like they draw what they think it is, and like, it's a man with a goose head, you know? One of them's like, it's like Pikachu, but with wings. Because they don't know it.
Yeah, it's an exotic enough animal that, like, they haven't done Ricky Tikki Tavi in school yet.
Or like the radioactive mongoose. Like, I want there to be an adjective associated with it that's not just the mongoose.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if we want to Pennsylvania it, radioactive mongoose, like after 3 Mile Island, it grew extra arms and got real big and attacked the campers and dragged them in. They say it still lives in the woods to this day. And then somebody coming out dressed in like a really shitty furry costume scares all the campers.
Yeah. Mark?
So I just opened up Google Maps and went to Minnesota, and I'm just looking at because I want to find a camp name,
Okay.
and I figured actually both of the camps I used to work at were named after bodies of water.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Minnesota is the land of at least 9,999 lakes.
Give or take a few.
So I'm trying to find, but everything I'm finding is like Mud Lake, Big Ol' Lake,
Big ol' lake.
Grave Lake, Little Bowstring.
I'm thinking like from growing up, a lot of camps I knew of had like Native American themed names.
Yeah.
And not like the simple like Camp Arrowhead and Camp Bow and Arrow, but like actual Native American words from the region.
Yeah, like Camp Susquehanna. But again, that would be
Yeah.
a body of water.
Wapwalopen.
Now, this might be a little too specific, because it was a fear that I had as a child, but do you guys remember snakefish?
No, but I'm terrified all of a sudden.
Snakefish were a thing that started appearing, and they were basically fish that could very, very briefly be on land. They had, like, extra fins.
I know what you're talking about, but I never heard them called snakefish.
Oh, were they called snakeheads?
Maybe walking fish is what I've heard.
They were called something with snake, because there was a really shitty sci-fi movie about them that vastly overestimated their capabilities. But
I'm sorry, I just found a body of water, and in the middle of this body of water, there is one outcropping of land, totally in the middle of the water, with water all around it. Do you know what this lake is called?
No, because I'm not looking at your screen.
Two Island Lake. I hate Minnesota. Like, it's okay to just not name these things.
Two Island Lake. That's so funny. Although I like the idea of like Snakefish Lake is the lake that they're on.
yeah.
I just found Killdeer Lake, and I kind of like that. Killdeer. Here's the thing. It's a bird. But if you don't know that a killdeer is a bird, and it's kind of a little one. As an adult, they're only about 3 ounces. But if you don't know it's a bird, you think, oh, killdeer. Must be a big thing to kill a deer. There must be a scary monster in the woods that's the deer killer.
So the old cabin that no longer exists were the deer, and they got got by the killdeer. And maybe in the end, the kids like stumble on a scary old man alone in the woods and run from him, and turns out he's just a bird watcher. And in the end, he's the one who explains to them the killdeer is just a bird.
Yeah, and I like that idea because it's a scary name.
Mm-hmm.
Kids who don't know what it is are going to be afraid of it, and kids who do know what it is and are like, I'm going to punk on these younger kids.
Yeah. And also, I love the trope in kids movies of the scary old man who's actually just a total softie.
Like the homeless lady in...
The homeless lady in Home Alone 2, the old man with the shovel in Home Alone 1.
Yep.
I guess, is there an old man neighbor in Home Alone 3? It's been a minute.
Never seen Home 3.
It's the best worst one.
Okay, so we've kind of got 2 stories here. There's the kids that go off on the adventure to find the killdeer, and Peep. Let's flesh her out just a little bit more, I guess.
Sure.
Like, we've got her age. She's roughly in her early to mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
I could even see it being like mid to late 20s. Like
24, 27, in that range.
28, 29, closer to our age even. Like, spent her 20s doing career shit in the city, met a man. Now they decided they want to, like, they want to have kids. It's something they want to do, but she's not at all prepared because she hasn't been around kids since she was 1.
Maybe her husband went to this camp.
Yeah. Like, hey, I went to this camp when I was a kid. I learned a lot of life lessons there. Maybe you should be a counselor for summer. Take a sabbatical from work. Maybe she's, like, even, like, partner at a law firm or something, like...
Hallmark movie shit.
Yeah, so Hallmark movie shit that, like, we're not worried about her finances taking 3 months off of work. She's gonna have a job when she gets back, and she'll have, like, there's no tension there.
Yeah.
The tension is her learning how to be a parent.
Yeah.
And how to relate to children, because she hasn't done it yet. So, not only are we gonna have her interacting with children, there's also gonna be that fish out of water element. Do you remember the 90s Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan?
Of course.
That second act when the dad's prissy girlfriend goes out in the wilderness. Like, that kind of fish out of water shit. Yeah. Complaining, where's my Evian? Like, this is my toilet. There's no hot water in the shower. Where can I hang my loofah? Like, real learning to live without luxury shit.
Meredith, that's her name.
Yeah. And I think there's some elements we could pull out of that.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, she gets the nickname Little because she has so little experience in this kind of element.
Yeah.
To the point where even, like, teenagers still in high school are roasting her.
What if instead of taking a sabbatical, her husband and her buy this camp? Or inherit it from, like, an uncle? So the camp has been running for a while, but they need to figure out... Because I want the husband to be there, but not able to support her in figuring her shit out.
Oh, a man who can't support his wife? I'm shocked.
What the fuck, dude?
It has nothing to do with you! I'm talking about Hollywood men in general. Don't take it as a personal attack, bro.
Whoa. There's something there. Mm-hmm. Maybe not quite that, because that's its own storyline. That's like the plot of Heavyweights almost. And I don't know if we need a third storyline so much with the husband that's like that.
Yeah,
impactful.
I'm not suggesting that we add him as a storyline. I just want him to be there and...
Right. So we're establishing that she's the moneymaker in their relationship. Maybe he's just a teacher. And in the summers, he's a teacher or like a school nurse. So in the summers, he does the medical wing at this camp.
He's the medical officer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
the nurse.
That gives us an excuse to keep him busy as well, because, camp in the woods with children, kids are going to get hurt. He's going to have a lot of boo-boos to kiss better and, illnesses and ailments to mend. But he can also be present and help her out, and they can have discussions in which we progress her development throughout the story.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking similar, except instead of, like, medical officer, he's the carpenter, the
handyman.
What we used to call the warden. Everything that breaks he's the only one who's there to fix it, and everything is always in a constant state of mostly broken.
It's another option, yeah.
So while she's the program director, she's the one who makes sure that everybody's doing things, he's the one who makes sure that everything is still working. And, like, babe, I'm really sorry, I want to help you, but every single toilet on that half of the camp is all backed up at the same time. We're both doing our best.
I don't
want her to be the director.
Yeah, I want them both to be...
I want her to be like a counselor. I think that fits
I don't
better.
want either of them in positions of power, quote unquote.
I do like the idea of him being like the handyman or something too. Maybe he owns a construction business, like as a day job, and volunteers his time during the summer because the camp was...
He went there.
Because he went there and it was influential to him.
Yeah.
But either way, I like the idea of him being there but being too busy to fully help. So she does have to learn on her own. So I'm thinking an opening scene now.
Okay.
You know me, I like a cold open before a credit. So I want two things happening simultaneously. We have Bo Peep and her husband going back and forth about wanting to have kids. This will be a good learning experience. Come to camp this summer with me. You can learn how to be around kids, get used to it, and maybe you learn something about yourself. This camp was important to me growing up, whatever. And this whole scene intercut with one of the campers. And it's her first year going to camp. And her parents are giving her similar things. Like, oh, we went to this camp when we were kids. It's real important to us. You'll have a great time. And she's apprehensive for her own reasons. What if the other kids don't like me? What if, like, I get hurt? What if I get lost in the woods? What if a shark eats me in the lake? Little kid fears. And that way we're mirroring the two sides of the two stories that are going to run concurrently. And we're also giving ourselves like a main child character to follow as well throughout their journey instead of just a generic blob of kids.
The only quibble that I have is I want her to be the one to bring up kids. Because I don't want it to sound like he's trying to convince her to have kids.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not, like, it's not going to be like that. It's...
Yeah. It's just like, I'm so glad you agreed to come with me. This is gonna be, like, this was such a great experience for me growing up. And she'll have, like, aside, she'll like squeeze his hand and be like, "Of course, I love you and do anything for you." And it's good practice when we have kids.
Yeah. Of course, that does mean that the last scene of the movie, you have to establish she's pregnant.
God damn it.
But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that.
We damn well better. I want to see it.
You're not gonna see the sex, Mark.
Just
Well, then why are we doing any of this?
The aliens did not cause 9/11.
just hardcore fucking in the middle of this coming-of-age children's movie.
Well, yeah, somebody's coming.
All the kids are missing. It's just like, honey, the cabin's empty. They have to push 3 of the 4 of the beds together so they have enough space to screw.
So is
Gross.
I almost asked a very stupid question. Mark, at your camp that was famously run by the Boy Scouts, were the cabins intergender?
Funny you should ask that. At the time that I worked there, kind of. Because both with adult leadership, there are female scoutmasters, Cody, sexist. A woman can master scouts just as well as a man. There were also female staff, and so we didn't have cabins. We weren't a fancy la-di-da like your rich people camps. We had tents that, yes, were kind of, it's a 2-person tent, so you just get 2 girls. Shower facilities had to be segregated by time, but now it's all outdoor stalls. So, like, you just walk up to the building and there's all these stalls, and you go to one, and if it's open, and you have the stall to yourself.
Kind of like a national park.
Yeah.
Or campground. Okay. But that was just for staff, right? Obviously, the campers were all male.
Back then, yes, but now it's... And even then, we had Voyagers, or not Venture Scouts, which is co-ed. So again, even then, we had some female scouts.
But you wouldn't have boy campers and girl campers in the same tent.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
So I never got to go to summer camp, but in middle school and high school, I worked at summer camps. Not as like a counselor or anything, just like chopping wood and doing labor for free, because the church loves slavery. And they just don't call it that because they gave you food and room and experience. Anyway, my gripes aside, even then, we had cabins of 10 to 12, and they were also segregated by gender.
The one year I worked at a Christian camp, the youngest age group stayed in there were cabins, and yeah, then they were segregated by gender.
Yeah, so I think it would make sense segregated by gender with a matching counselor to the gender for obvious health and safety reasons.
2 counselors.
Yeah.
You were never alone.
Yeah. So Peep's gonna have a
Peep is gonna have like the senior staff member who's like a 19-year-old girl who was so fucking tired of her shit. Immediately.
Absolutely. Should we give our Bo Peep a name?
Bo.
Works for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Bo can be her nickname, and it can be long for
Short
I don't
for
know.
long for B.
I mean, her name could be like Roberta or something, because you could get Bo out of that.
Yeah.
I you know what? I want yes, what you said. Her husband is Beauregard. He is also Bo.
But it's Beau.
The other staff, yes, the other staff call them the Bows. They don't fully realize that, like, they're not. You know that thing where you think everybody likes you and it turns out everybody hates you? They don't realize that everybody just calls them the Bows.
Everybody hates Boy Bo because he has an unrealistic, or he has way too much power, and they're all like, God damn it, we gotta ask Bo for shit again. And then everybody hates new Bo because, fucking, she's new and she's jumpy and she's weird about everything. And also they're a couple, so you've got that triple entendre of Bows.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought that was
When
quite
people
clever.
are real annoyed, they call them Bobo. Okay.
I think part of why everybody dislikes Girl Bo is partly because she wants desperately to be liked.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody,
She's
like, so she's
try-hard.
not, she's try hard, I used to work with somebody who always said please and thanks.
Oh.
I'm gonna get this real quick off my chest. Here's one of my trauma dumps. I was assigned to be her like co-counselor for 1 week, and she was so nice and sweet, and everybody loved her. And she was a huge fucking bitch to me, and a huge pain in the ass to be partnered up with. And she was like, "Hey, will you do this, please and thanks? Will you do that, please and thanks? Remember I told you, please and thanks." So by the end of the week, we fucking hated each other. And then everybody, because she was that kind of real sweetheart, nice person, everybody, all the other staff was like, how could Mark be so mean to such and such? How, like, she's a sweet little angel. Anybody she doesn't like must be a huge asshole. So everybody hated me for about 4 weeks until they all had a chance to work with that same co-counselor. And they're like, oh my God, is Mark right about something? So Bo is like that.
Lady Bo?
Yeah, Lady Bo is like that, and Beauregard is. They think he's intentionally stiffing them.
He has Wayne vibes to me, to make a very specific reference.
Yeah. For her, I wouldn't say she's too nice. I would say she's too blunt. If she comes from, like, law or like a big, like, profession with a lot of, like, stakes and power, her demeanor, I feel like, should be when she's working very, this needs to get done now. And not understanding how, like, lax camp can be sometimes.
I mean, it could also just be as simple as she's an outsider. She's new to this, and she doesn't know how it works, and we resent that we have to train her. She's older than us. She's not going to share all of our interests.
Yeah. So because she's an outsider, she treats people around her like they're people at her firm. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, it's teenagers making minimum wage and, like, grizzled old people on summer jobs.
See, instead of that, I'm thinking more like kind of Parks and Rec and 30 Rock. That Liz Lemon type. I really want everything to work well, and it's not that she's too nice, but and I guess I'm not explaining well what the picture in my head. She's certainly got very high expectations, and she treats everybody maybe a little too professionally. Leslie
and Anne from Parks and Rec. Her co-counselor is Anne, who's like, I understand the difficulties that this is going... She's realistic, whereas Bo is very like, we're gonna make 10,000 s'mores and all the children are gonna love me and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
She's just a little bit too energetic.
Like she has an idea of what she's supposed to be. And in playing the character of what she thinks a good counselor looks and sounds like, she's ignoring the reality of the situation she's in.
Yeah.
And all of the other counselors are the kind of people who can smell inauthenticity a mile away.
Exactly.
Okay, so now I think we need to actually figure out the story here.
One last character we need to figure out. Do we need any more? We need at least a name for our main camper, just so we can say a name as we follow along. Dolly.
God damn it. Yes.
All right. Do you get that reference, Mark?
No.
Dolly, the first cloned sheep. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I did get that reference. Or at least I knew that true.
Yeah. All right, so...
We have our opening scene, which is the parallel of Bo and Dolly.
And we could even see... I like a telling image for the credit shot. Like, where the title of the film comes up, I like to have an image there that happens on. And I would say she's pulling into the staff parking with Bo at the same time as a busload of kids featuring Dolly is pulling in and they're offloading the luggage. So both of them appear on screen together for the first time with the title of the film. Do we need a scene? Yeah, we do. We need we need Lady Bo to meet...
I think from now on we don't even need to refer to Bo anymore. Okay. The guy. Like, he's that much of almost a non-entity.
Bo and Himbo?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we need a scene where Bo meets her co-counselor.
I think we can see the kids arriving, the split, basically, and we see the bus, we see staff, we follow staff, and that's where she gets introduced to.
So maybe the camp director is introducing Bo to... Did we give her co-counselor a name?
No, I don't think we have yet.
Also,
Emily?
Emily works. Are we going to have this take place modern, or do we want to do 90s?
I kind of want to go 90s because I don't want cell phones.
Perfect. I had the same thought because
or like it's a symbol of status that you've got that shitty Nokia that doesn't get service.
If we go modern, then Emily's on her phone the whole time.
Yeah.
And so are most of the kids. So that's probably good that we don't do that. But Bo will have a cell phone that she tries to use at some point but gets no reception because she's in the fucking sticks.
Yes.
Because it's the fucking 90s. So camp director introduces Bo to Emily. She'll be working with you. We're giving you the sheep cabin. And as they're introduced into the cabin, we see Dolly and our other group of campers unpacking their things. And I think we would get a little tropey here with the 3-4 other campers that are going to go on the adventure with Dolly. Would each have something personal that they unpack that's telling of who they are.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have a kid with like some homework assignment for next year because they're already like the smart kid.
Yeah.
We're going to have a Tom girl with like an American football girl with a Barbie.
How old are we talking?
10?
Oh, okay. I was going to say one of them has a copy of the Bell Jar, but that's not old enough.
Yeah.
Bell Jar would be hilarious, though. Just a goth 10-year-old reading Sylvia Plath.
I think that would be a hilarious cutaway shot.
Actually, not one of the actual campers, but a goth 10-year-old with a My Chemical Romance poster reading Sylvia Plath. Oh, no, 90s.
Hole?
No. We could reference Wet Hot. What was the girl that had the band t-shirt? What was that t-shirt?
I don't remember.
She was known as like that kid. The Cure? Was it Cure? The Cure?
The Smiths. The Cure.
Oh, the Smiths would be funny, though. Yeah, like a Smiths tape and in her Walkman.
Instead of a Barbie, Britney Spears everything.
Yeah.
If we're setting it in the 90s, like late 90s.
Like when we were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Britney
Britney,
Spears.
she's got the fucking like bedazzled things.
Britney Spears, maybe Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I think a Barbie could still be
Yeah.
Spice Girl dolls.
Oh my god.
Tomboy, smart kid.
I
don't want to prep because Bo is the prep.
Instead of 90s, can we make it knots?
Early aughts. I was thinking the same thing.
Again, partly because it's when we were young. The time of my life when I was working at and going to camps. And specifically the relationship with cell phones. Some of them have them, but it's the old Nokia slide phones.
Yeah.
You can text, but not, like, do all the shit that kids today do on phones. Just...
It's not free before 9.
I wouldn't say, like, even late aughts, or, like, still, like, early aughts, pre-9/11 aughts. So maybe there's a scene where Dolly gets handed a cell phone, one of the Nokia bricks, and, like, this is for emergencies only. Don't even turn it on unless something disastrous has happened. And that can even be, like, a running plot point, like, maybe she loses it at one point or it breaks when they actually have an emergency.
I think Dolly's personal thing should be notebook. She should have, like, a diary that she writes in.
I like that. Because that's how we would get... Because if we're going to have scenes where, like, Bo and Himbo are eating and Bo is expressing character development and conversation there, Dolly will do the same thing in diary entries.
So after they get to camp and they start unpacking, we go to the opening campfire, which is usually a kind of a big thing, where you put on like skits and do kind of like a show introducing the campers to the camp. And I think it would be really fun if we did something entirely different. And this is where we do introduce the legend of the killdeer. And when I say do something totally different, I mean do that like genre format change. This bit would be animated.
Kind of like, not to bring up a bad movie, but the Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was thinking like I would assume it's one of the wolves starts telling the story over the campfire, and the camera pans up into the smoke, and the story is acted out like through animation in the smoke itself. Like smoke figures form and start doing the actions as the story's told, that kind of thing.
Okay, I was thinking literally we just do this like an animation, like a little cartoon in the middle of your movie.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And you're saying make it diegetic.
Not necessarily making it diegetic, but having the style of the animation match something camp-like. So either it's like...
I think we should also back up a minute. When I say the opening campfire, it's not like everybody sitting around a fire and telling stories and back and forth. This is more like a show. It's a presentation.
So there's a stage and things like that.
Yes, and
Oh, okay.
there's either one big fire in the middle or two small ones off to the side, while the camp staff puts on a little show. Like, hey, here's the camp, here's some funny skits. Ha ha ha, this is going to be a great week, or a great summer.
Maybe.
And so that's why I was, and then saying, like, you know, here's the first skit we have, the legend of our own official camp legend, the legend of the killdeer.
I definitely like the idea of doing animation here, for sure. I'm just trying to think of how to transition into that, you know? Because it's jarring if just all of a sudden we're, you know, CG animated or cel-shaded animated or whatever we're doing. So I'm thinking, like, what is the transition? And is it, like, they kill the lights on the stage thing for the one kid, and he does the classic flashlight under the chin move with the shadows, and maybe the animated figures as he's describing them appear in the blackness behind him until he's gone, and then it's just an animated scene?
Yes.
Okay.
And adding to that, I used to have some of this. There's some chemicals that you can throw into campfires that make them change colors.
Yeah.
So just like we're gonna do the legend of the killdeer. Cut the lights go out, flashlight under.
Very, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Very Midnight Society, yeah.
If it were a presentation for a lot of people and not just a small club.
Exactly. As long as we do something visually with the actual characters on screen to instigate the change to animation for that. And then going back to live action, we can just do a jarring cut. Like, that can really put a button on.
I was thinking the cut can be the sheep cabin starts. Someone from sheep starts hysterically crying. And the boys recognize that, and they're like, that's who we're going to target. That's the cabin we're going to go after.
Now, is it Dolly or the Goth?
I don't think it should be Dolly.
It's the Britney Spears one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
better. Good choice, good choice.
So what is the legend of the killdeer? And this can be kind of quick and simple.
So
It's a monster.
When my dad was at camp, yeah. The thing I said before about the giant mongoose, but there used to be a cabin called the Deer, and this cabin's not here anymore. Why is that? Well, there's a legendary monster that lives out in the woods by the lake called the killdeer, and its sole purpose in life is to kill deer. And it didn't get the memo that these weren't real deer and they were just children. And it came in one night and it massacred all the children. And maybe even the kid goes a little overboard and gets in trouble for it, like with their counselor, like, and there was blood dripping from the ceiling, and arms and legs were dragged through the camp. And Jimmy, knock it off. Sorry, but you know,
We don't have to have a specific right now, but I only want the killdeer. The reason that it kills the deer cabin is some camp rule thing, that they were making too much noise after dark, because that's what makes it come. So everybody remember to shut the hell up after 10:30.
Yeah, the kids in the deer cabin decided to have themselves a little party after the counselors went to sleep. And so after 10:30 p.m., they turned their lights back on, and they started playing music, and they started drinking their high C's and their Mountain Dews, and they started opening their Mads magazine, and the killdeer smelled prey. Yeah, and that is why at 10:30 it's lights out and shut up.
And the transition in is flashlight under the face. Two other counselors throw a fistful of dust into the fires that turn them bigger and blue, and the smoke rises up and becomes this quote-unquote screen for this little cartoon.
Yeah.
And the transition back out is when it gets a little bit too scary, and the Britney Spears kid starts crying, and the screen turns back into smoke, and they turn the lights back on. Really quick.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. I feel like that should be where the counselor comes in and just, like, whacks Jimmy with the newspaper.
Shoos him off, and it's like, well, it's 10:15, time to get to bed, kids, and they all fucking sprint. Right? I think we need to have a scene that night in the cabin where Dolly and Bo interact. Maybe Dolly asks her, is the killdeer real? And Bo also hasn't heard of the bird. So she's like, I'm sure that's not a real thing. I'm sure, like, the lake is just named after, you know, some event that happened back in colonial times or something like that. It's nothing to worry about. They're just trying to scare you. We'll protect you. Get some sleep. You know, something simple like that.
And then I think we need to have a cut to the wolves' cabin. These little stinker boys with their stupid idea of scaring the new girls.
I feel like it should be like all the lights turning out and the lights turn out last in the wolf's cabin, and then you start hearing like the noise of kids leaving with stuff.
The lights turn out in all the cabins and we see it, but in the wolf's cabin in the window you still see a faint glow. And then we go inside the cabin and the kids are around the lantern plotting. Yeah. And their counselor, like, half asleep, hand still in a bag of Doritos, Walkman on, you know, not giving a shit. Because they're, like, you know, the old boys' cabin. They can mostly take care of themselves. Yeah. He was in that cabin last year, you know?
Yeah.
So they're all plotting. Maybe we don't even hear what they're saying, but they're just writing some stuff down and whispering.
Yeah.
And then I think we go right back to the sheep.
Do we want them to do it the same night, or do we want them to wait till the next night?
I think it's most effective the same night.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the kind of shit you would do on the first night of camp, right? Like, that's one of those things that's like a hazing ritual.
Okay.
So after we get the pan into the boys plotting around a lantern, maybe this is where we get that scene with Dolly and Bo that you were just talking about.
That's a good idea. Maybe she gets up in the middle of the night and wakes up Bo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Mrs. Bo, do you think that story's real? No, it's not real, honey. You can go back to sleep. I don't know. I'm really scared. And then they hear something outside. And Dolly freaks out. And Bo, being a cynical-ish adult, is like, I'm sure it's probably just an actual deer. Let's take a look outside. And they look and they don't see anything. And what is the actual prank going to be? Are they going to sneak in, or are they just going to, like, rattle the windows or make monster sounds?
I think they have, like, a blanket thrown over one of the boys, like, the tallest boy, and, like, they stuck sticks through it, and he, like, starts banging at the window, and the rest of them are at the other windows yelling.
Yeah.
And maybe one comes in, like, the tallest one with the scary arms comes in the back way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he comes in one of the doors, like, slams one of the doors open, and as at the same time all the other boys just start banging on the windows and screaming.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not like an elaborate scare, but it's just brute
One of the
force.
boys goes in the front door, while the one in the scary monster comes in the back door, so that when it all happens kind of at once, the front door one has the flashlight to spotlight on him. So it's dark and loud, and the only thing that the kids see is this guy.
Front door comes in first with his arm tucked in a sleeve and some ketchup on his elbow, and he throws open he like stumbles in the door. Everyone startles awake, and he's like, "The killdeer, it's here!" And then he shines the flashlight on it at the back door.
Yes.
Yes.
Just really fucking getting them.
And I think that this ends with a hard cut to the boys sitting in an office and getting a dressing down, you know?
The last part of the prank, I want shots of individual shots of the little girls screaming, and then ending with a 2-shot of Bo screaming, and Emily just like, they do this every year. Like, just completely nonchalant, because she knew it was gonna fucking happen. And then what you said, like, the boys get in trouble, but the boys always get in trouble. They planned for it as part of, like, going to camp.
So I was just thinking of that hard cut of little girls screaming to these boys in basically detention.
What if that's where we get Emily's reaction, where she's just like, you do this every year. Doesn't it get old spending the first week of camp on trash and toilet duty?
I think all of that can be told in, like, a well-placed and timed eye roll from her.
Yeah.
And then maybe, like, the hard cut to the next day is all the boys are scrubbing toilets. And she just looks at them and, like, you knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe even, like, the one boy is like, that's why we do it the first night. The toilets are cleaner. You know, it's all, what's the word I'm looking for?
The phrase that's in my head is in media res, but
no,
that's not.
it's all, ceremonial.
Yeah.
Tradition,
yeah. It's all tradition.
So I think that we get that, like, montage of camp activities.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Bo should be really enthusiastically trying, but really shit at all of them. Except for archery, for some reason. She's real fucking good at archery. Or, like, axe throwing. Like, I want there to be one outlying activity that she's just weirdly good at.
I don't want it to be archery, just because I don't want her to have to use that skill, like, as an act of violence in the real world. But it needs to be, like, her skill needs to come into effect. Maybe it's something like, botany's not the right word, but, like, plant identification.
Is it too obvious and on the nose to have it be tracking?
I want it either to be, like, plant identification, because, like, later when they're lost in the woods, she can identify poison berries. Or tying knots. And when one of the girls gets hurt later, like, she's able to, like, really successfully tie a splint or something.
I'm gonna make a push for tracking. Only because she's a lawyer, she's used to looking at crime scene photos.
Oh, you're talking about Bo, I'm talking about Dolly.
Oh, Dolly, okay.
Because
yes.
Bo's not doing the activities so much as
she's, like, demonstrating
overseeing.
Yeah.
Facilitating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Dolly needs to be good at something.
Yes, yeah. Okay, if it's Dolly, then yes, I like the idea of plant identification.
Yeah.
And maybe she, like, sketches little samples of the plants in her diary.
Yeah. So I think here's where we do, like, a montage of camp life. See what everyone's up to, playing in the lake. Maybe some of the guys are boating, somebody's fishing. She's doing nature walks and her plant identification. That's where we see some of that. And I think occasionally interspersed in here, we need to see some of the older kids, not necessarily bullying the sheep, but calling them scaredy cats. You know, frightened little lambs.
Yeah.
Maybe they come into the mess hall after an event and, like, oh, here come the frightened little lambs, and the whole mess hall laughs. And that's, like, the last thing that happens in the montage. Because then at lunch or dinner, whatever meal this is, the kids gather around at their table and they go, we need to get them back. We need to show we're not scared. We need to catch the killdeer.
I think that should be Dolly's idea. Because I think, like, they should all, like, visibly... They have their trays, they all sit down, they all kind of smack their trays down, and they're just like, I'm tired of being laughed at. It's only been, like, one day, and it's not fair. They're so much bigger than us.
Now, is this a 1 week camp or an 8 week camp? I think 1 week makes sense.
Yeah, especially with this happens the first night.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you can extend, but all of the sheep are for 1 week. Like, older kids can be longer, but the sheep are all 1 week.
Perfect. Mark, you had a thought?
I had a couple thoughts. First off, I want to see killdeers.
Like,
just kind of throughout.
Just constant birds.
Not constant, but just every once in a while we see a killdeer. And on one of the nature walks, I even want Dolly to point it out and ask Bo, what is that? And Bo doesn't know.
It's a
and
white
by
bird.
the time she gets out the bird identification book, it's already flown away. Because that will then tie in at the end when the old man identifies that's a killdeer. It's a bird.
Maybe she just calls it a finch or something like that. 'Cause she just doesn't know, or, like, lies to her or something like that. I would love it if...
See, I want the book thing because she tries.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good point.
Okay, I got the book. Now, where's the bird? Where's the bird? It's already gone. Oh, sorry,
like, maybe
honey.
even, like, when the bus comes in at the start and you see Camp Killdeer, like... The words Camp Killdeer are an arch over the entrance road, and underneath the arch of the words is, like, a wood carving of a big branch with an actual killdeer sitting on it. And just no one clocks that's what that is. And there's one painted maybe on the side, like in a mural on the inside of the mess hall, shit like that.
Yeah, but everyone just kind of takes it at face value of, like, it's a nature scene. Of course there's fucking birds.
Yeah. They don't clock that bird has a name, and that name is killdeer. They're just like, oh, there's a bird. Yeah. You know, it's just right over everyone's head, like birds do.
I also think that Dolly should be the one to ask the wolf cabin about the killdeer.
I don't think they ask, because they don't want them to know what they're doing.
I think that she needs to ask one of the older boys where the killdeer actually lives, where the monster comes from. And the older boys, you know, they think that this is just they're going to keep the joke going because these dumb, scared little girls. So we make up some bullshit about the monster living in an abandoned old cabin in the woods. And that's where she gets the idea of we're going to prove that we're not scaredy babies. We're going to go find the killdeer.
Yeah, I like that.
And now we know where to look because of what this older boy told me.
Maybe there's a scene where one of the older boys is, like, trying to get her again, like, better watch out, the killdeer is gonna come get you. And she's like, oh yeah? Where's it gonna come from? Which direction? Pulls out her notebook and pen.
Yeah, like, I think we can...
Just like follow-up question. When it comes to get me, is it coming from the north or the south? Where does it live? What's its habitat?
Yeah, I think that we should do the... Oh, it's the scaredy babies at the lunch. And then the dinner meal is where she's like... And that's... The dinner meal is where he's like, oh, you know, Killdeer's gonna come get you. And she's like, where's it gonna come from? Like, I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Because it's been brewing in her all day.
Mm-hmm. And maybe tells her it lives on the other side of the lake. And it watches over the lake and waits for little girls to make too much noise. And that's what spurns the adventure to the other side of the lake.
It's a little less realistic, but maybe there's a fire watch tower on a peak on the other side of the lake. Do you know what I mean when I say fire watch tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the killdeer doesn't live there, but that's how he tells her you go past that, thinking there's no way this kid's gonna like do anything with this information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have this confrontation at dinner. Beyond, he tells her it's beyond the tower on the other side of the lake. There's an old cabin, and the old cabin he's just making up, and it's just a sheer coincidence that he's right, that there is an old cabin out there. That's the birder's cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So armed with this information, maybe at breakfast the next day. So they ride to camp on Sunday. Monday is activities, learning more about the killdeer, getting made fun of. Tuesday at breakfast, Dolly gathers the girls and says, "We're gonna go get the killdeer. We're gonna be brave, and we're gonna show that we're not frightened little lambs."
Is it too much to do another montage, but it's them, like, sneaking the supplies that they're gonna need throughout the activities? Because I want them to leave after dark.
To go back to the tropes of the kids, one of them should be a scout.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the smart one should be like Girl Scout, and she wears her vest.
I like that. That way we have somebody with
Outdoor life skills.
base knowledge and a guide. The guidebook. I don't want them to leave after dark.
Because that's when the killdeer comes out.
Because they're scared. I want them to leave, like, first thing.
Like, right after breakfast, instead of going to their activities.
First activity is when they make a break for it, basically. Because they don't want to be out after dark. They want to get it that day and come back. And they think they can.
Yeah.
So
I think they should get away, obviously, and they notice that they're missing around lunchtime. Because maybe it's like a swimming thing. So it wouldn't be as noticeable that 4 little girls aren't in the huge mass of kids. Because I want them to have a couple hours head start, you know?
yeah. No, that's a good idea. Maybe it's like just free swim until lunch.
Yeah, it's like a bigger group activity.
Morning swim, or maybe like a big like sports thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're doing like a soccer tournament in the morning, and all the cabins have teams.
No, it's open sports day.
Okay.
And these different areas of camp have a different sport. So it's not just soccer. If you want to play soccer, you go to open field A. If you want to play baseball, you go to the baseball diamond.
And so it's all hands on deck in terms of counselors, and they wouldn't necessarily be with their kids.
And here we could do something with Bo, where maybe she's posted at, like I joked before, the badminton court, and only, like, 3 kids want to play badminton. So, like, she's there with, like, 3 kids that aren't even her kids.
I mean, I was gonna say, if we're doing, like, rich kid shit, if we're going
or even
rich
like
kid
just
coded,
full
I was say,
tennis, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say tennis is, like, the rich kid coded sport.
Yeah. There's only, like, a couple kids that want to play tennis. So maybe Bo's even, like, trouncing one of the kids because she doesn't fully understand that she shouldn't, like, kick the shit out of this kid in tennis because she's 20 years older.
Yeah.
She learns a lesson not to make kids cry by being better than them. Bo, brah, you're making kids cry, brah.
At this point, I kind of want to put the block down.
Okay.
And these go in 2 directions. And I think we need to follow each one to its conclusion. Instead of, obviously in the movie, we'd be cutting back and forth. We'd have a kid scene, then a Bo scene, then a kid scene, then a Bo scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should figure out the kid's path and the Bo path.
Fair. Because this is about, like, the end of Act 1 or early Act 2. So it's a good point to start that split.
I think I want to do the Bo path first. Because I think that the kid's path is what the ultimate climax is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kid's path is the one that's going to end with the old man and the killdeer. And I feel like that's like the emotional climax of the picture. So I want us to do that second.
Yeah. Okay, so counselors normally would eat with their kids, right?
You're supposed to.
So they get back to lunch. She does the head count, realizes half the kids aren't there.
Yeah. All the girls are missing. All the 8 to 10-year-old girls are missing.
Well, I would say not everyone from her cabin, not all of the sheep went. I would say it's only like the 4 or 5 that we've established. There's going to be some just generic extras in this camp.
Yeah.
So they do the head count. I would say Bo immediately starts freaking out and is like, we need to tell the director.
And Emily's like, have you bothered checking the cabin yet? Maybe they're eating their snacks in there.
Emily's just like, relax. Lunch, it's 12:02. It was sports day. It's their first time at this camp. They might have just gotten lost on the way back to the mess hall from, the baseball field.
Yeah.
Give them 20 minutes. They'll be here. It'll be fine. They'll just be hungry. And when the kids don't show up and they go to their next activity, whatever that may be, is when Emily also starts to think, maybe we should go looking for them.
Yeah. Let's check the cabin. Let's make sure they didn't just all take a nap. And then they're not in the cabin.
Just so that I know we're not doing the kids yet, I want to say they're only gone for this day and the next day. They come back evening the next day. They're only gone one overnight.
Yeah.
Just so that we establish how long Bo's looking.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we're not nearly at casting yet, but Aubrey Plaza is Emily.
Oh my god.
She's a little old, but...
Too old, but excellent vibes.
Like, that's the vibe that I have in my head.
For sure. So yeah, she's starting to get worried. I think this is a good point for her to be like, all right, Emily, you watch them. I'm going to go get help. And Emily starts freaking out, like, don't tell the director yet. She's like, no, I'm not going to tell the director. I'm just going to talk to Himbo.
You said one night, I want to say 2. That gives us the first night of being afraid in the woods. The second night, the whole day of adventuring, that they build confidence. And the second night, they're not afraid. And also thinking Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday. Thursday is good for coming back. Thursday night back in the cabin, and then Friday is your last day at camp.
I was thinking then they leave Saturday morning.
Yeah, Friday's your last full day at camp.
The issue I have with 2 nights is at that point, actual authorities are getting called in. And I'm not sure we need to do that.
You are right about that. So I'm thinking they encounter the old man.
On night 1 and he calls the camp?
No, they encounter the old man on Wednesday during the day. He calls the camp and lets them know that they're safe. Maybe they even know this man.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a good idea. They just don't see that. Maybe the audience doesn't even find that out till later.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're on Tuesday afternoon, a little bit worried. She goes to talk to Himbo.
Yeah.
And maybe he shares a story of his camp days here, where he and his guys heard rumors of, like, a girls' camp, or they heard rumors that the girls' cabin was going to go skinny dipping when they were, like, 14. And they snuck out at night to spy and couldn't find their way back to the cabin until the morning. But they were totally fine. They never went further than, 100 yards from an adult.
But she's like, these are 10-year-old girls lost in the woods. It's been longer than that, and clearly they're farther away from authorities. This was not helpful.
Yeah.
Like, she's working herself up.
And he's just trying to explain, like, kids are being kids. Like, they don't think they're in danger. They're probably not dead. They're probably together. They're probably just doing stupid kid shit. Let them do their stupid kid shit.
I think another thing that we can do for the reason that I know we're not on the kids side yet. One of the girls hurts her ankle, and so they start taking longer to walk anywhere because they all have to, like, trade off helping her walk.
Yeah. I think that maybe that... Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. Mm-hmm. So, there's a little less going on with Bo.
Yeah, there is.
I want her to have, like, a meltdown where she's like, I'm gonna be prosecuted for losing children in 2 hours.
She starts, like, building her legal defense.
The first night, she is trying to cover her ass.
Doing the whole, like, pillows in under the blankets thing and, like, trying to hide the fact they're missing.
No, she tells the director that they're doing an outpost. And at first the director says, isn't it we don't normally do an outpost with the 10-year-olds. Yeah, but it's just for tonight, and we won't go far. All right, well, then I'll approve it. You can camp with the lambs, camp with sheep cabin in, forest campsite A.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should actually be at Forest Campsite A. Or is that not far enough away?
It's not far enough away.
Okay, because I want them to be, like, missing each other throughout this process.
I think that where they end up is beyond camp property.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to get to the other side of the lake. I think, I'm imagining they're just like, we start walking this way, keep the lake on your left.
Yeah.
But that first night, she tries to find them, not by herself, but with, what do we say, Emily?
Yeah.
And maybe this is where we can even have a scene with Bo and Emily. What's your deal?
As, I would say they're taking shifts all night. Because Emily's also in trouble if they're gone. So they're taking shifts because they only have half the cabin. One of them's out all right, I'm going to go that direction. I'm just going to walk a half hour and search, and then I'll come back. And then when I come back, you go that direction for a half hour, then come back, and we'll just alternate.
It's like where the farthest you get, mark an X on whatever.
Yeah. They can't have gone far. They're 10. And maybe Emily and... Yeah, this is a good scene for Emily and Bo to bond in the middle of the night as they're both kind of getting sleepy, a little delirious. And maybe at this point, even Emily shares a story from when she was a camper and she did something stupid. And maybe it's not, disappearing for a night, but, maybe she almost burned a building down or something. Just, doing something stupid.
Yeah, she was like, I was gonna prove that I could...
We were gonna pierce my ear. So I held the needle under a match, and I put the match down. I didn't even think to blow the match out. And, half of the storage barn we were doing this in, it caught fire, and luckily one of the other campers, remembered their fire training, and they did the thing, and no one got hurt. It's camp. Kids are going to do stupid things. This is pretty stupid, but I'm sure they're going to be fine. They're going to look out for each other. And I think, throughout this process, Bo needs constant reminders. I'm thinking back to the third line of that poem of, what was it, let them be and they'll return or something?
Leave them alone and they'll come home.
Leave them alone and they'll come home. Can't be overbearing. You're caring, but you don't want to, do too much, because there's only so much you can do at any given time anyway.
Yeah.
So now we're on Wednesday morning. They come back from the outpost. Maybe she even does some stuff, to distract the director as the director's trying to count the campers coming back.
They just, she has Emily do a circle.
The director wouldn't actually do that. That's part of the reason why you have the counselors. That's their job.
Good point.
The director just kind of says, hey, okay, so, rabbit troop all accounted for, wolf troop all accounted for. It's the counselor to actually say, okay, sound off. And I think at breakfast of day 2, or breakfast of Wednesday, is where Bo and Emily have to at some point they have to face the music, because eventually there has to be that, camp-wide search.
Yeah.
It doesn't get to authorities yet, but she has to report to the director, and then the director has to, start the search.
What if she lies and says that they went missing that previous night instead of the whole day before?
Yeah.
She's like, you know what? You said it was a bad idea. I should have listened. When I woke up, none of them were in their tents.
Or even just we did a head count when we started walking back from Forest Campsite A, and on the way back they disappeared, and I don't know where they went. They ran off on their own. We need to find them. So they're only really checking a small area because they don't realize how long they've been gone. Mm-hmm. And she's still trying to cover herself a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not just herself. She's also trying to cover Emily, because maybe in their conversation, Emily reveals, this camp means a lot to her.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So she doesn't want Emily to get... So she's going to take the heat for it, but she's also not going to be 100% truthful here.
Yeah.
And then maybe the director even, assigns one of the other cabins to help search.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the wolves. Maybe it's further punishment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You started this whole mess with that legend story.
It went too far this year with your little pranks. Now you need to search everything from here to there. Comb the forest, look for any clues, use all your skills that you've learned in your years coming to this camp. Help us find those girls. And I would say when they come back for lunch and haven't found them yet, at this point the director has already gotten the call from the Birdman.
Maybe instead, the Birdman, he's a birder, and he's also a retired game warden.
Okay.
So after the second search, after the search with the wolves, they do a third search with the full camp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at this point that the wolf boy tells the director I made up some bullshit about the killdeer lives in a cabin beyond the watchtower, beyond the lake. And she says, like Ranger Bill's cabin? And he's like, who the hell's Ranger Bill?
What if one of the girls leaves a note and they find it that day in the cabin as they're searching the cabin to see if there's anything? And the note is, went to find the killdeer, be right back.
And that's where the boy's
that's why the boy knows to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boy's like, I just made that up. I didn't think they were gonna... And he's like genuinely... Because these are good kids. They're just dumb kids.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I didn't realize they were gonna listen to me.
For sure.
Yeah, well, they look up to you.
Yeah. Everybody gets character growth.
Yep.
You
gotta learn what it means to be an older kid now.
So then the director and Bo decide that we're going to call Ranger Bill, and if he hasn't, he probably doesn't know anything. If he doesn't know anything, then we'll call the actual authorities.
So they call him in like the afternoon, evening of Wednesday?
Yeah, evening of Wednesday. But before they call him, and this is going to be one of those things where the CinemaSins guy gets pissed at us.
Who cares?
Before they can call him, he calls them.
I had the same thought.
I was thinking, what if it's instead a moment of comedy and they call him and he's like, oh, you're talking about a little girl, she's like, yay high, she's wearing a pink Britney Spears shirt, she's got long ponytails, and he just like picture perfect describes all four of them and then is like, nope, never seen them.
I thought the moment of comedy I thought you were going to go is like she calls, it's busy. Who does he even know as he's trying to call them?
But I do think there should be a thing where it's either like he calls them first or it's like a comedy moment where he like... Yeah. I like the idea of him pitch perfect describing the girls and them being like, nope, never heard of him.
Yeah. So then I think that night for Bo, so she knows they've been seen, and she knows that like an adult is on the case who knows what's going on, knows the woods, will be able to help.
I think they should just be like pitching their tents on his like front yard.
Yeah.
Because it's too late in the day for him to make the walk back over. Or the drive back over, or whatever.
On the second night?
Yeah. Like, the second night, they sleep outside his... Like, their...
Bo and the
girls.
Oh, we're not on the girls yet. I'm thinking what Bo is doing this night. We'll worry about what they're doing later.
Yeah.
Because I think at this point, she needs to be dealing with what went wrong, and she needs to learn something here.
Yeah.
And I think this is where she needs to establish that she's learned the lesson of, like... Sometimes you just need to let kids be kids. Like, you give them all the tools and all the knowledge you can to be safe, but sometimes they're going to go do something stupid, and you got to trust that they're going to make it out okay.
Yeah.
I want this lesson to come from Emily.
Yeah. Maybe this is where we get the story of her almost burning down a barn.
I don't want Emily to learn any lessons.
No character growth for Emily.
She's like fully actualized.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to learn anything. She just knows.
So maybe the first night when they're hunting, she just gives her like, you need to trust me here. I've been at this camp a long time. This kind of thing happens all the time. It's going to be okay. The second night is when she tells the story of the stupid thing she did at camp and how like, yeah, we were kids. We did a stupid thing. We didn't have adult supervision. We shouldn't have done it. But the adults around us at this camp and those that love us gave us the tools to know what to do when things went wrong. So when things went wrong, no one got seriously hurt, and we all learned something from it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a stronger moment to have that story.
Yeah, and I think that she should also point out, like, hey, do you remember when we taught the girls plan identification? She said, Ranger Bill said he found this in their backpack, so they correctly did this. He said that they correctly wrapped a splint around the injured girl's ankle, and
like he watched Dolly steer Britney Spears away from eating hallucinogenic mushrooms and handed her fresh strawberries from my garden. Because I like the idea that they just end up on this dude's property, but they don't realize the cabin's there yet, and they just, like, eat his food and shit.
Yeah.
No, don't eat that. That's poison ivy. Here, I found potatoes!
Yeah, like, it's very much like her being like, the point of summer camp is to give kids tools. Mm-hmm. The point of teaching is to give kids tools because sometimes they're gonna do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Even though you've only been a counselor for 72 hours or whatever, you still helped them get these tools.
Like, you can't control your kids 24/7. You can't be there when they go to school. Your kid is gonna grow up and go to school at some point. And maybe some kid is gonna offer him a cigarette in the bathroom. And you just gotta hope that you taught him the right thing to do in that situation. Which is take it. It's a free cigarette.
Them shits are expensive.
Yeah, like, that's the learning lesson that second night.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, I'm having the image of them, like, having this conversation, both sitting on the pier with their feet in the water of the lake. I don't know why, I just like that visual.
That's a good visual. Maybe the first one, because I think this one should be, like, whispered while the other kids are sleeping. So Thursday morning, the morning we know the girls are going to come back.
A small fire outside of the cabin while the girls are sleeping.
Or on the... Maybe there's, like, a porch swing on the cabin, or dangling on the edge of the porch of the cabin, something like that. Yeah, a little fire out there, something like that. Really,
people get introspective around fire.
Yeah. It's fucking true, man.
What if we've already established that she's kind of a city girl, a little bit like prissy, whatever. What if she's refused to eat camp snacks till now, but she takes a s'more or she takes a marshmallow or whatever to show character growth?
Like her first meal, we see her in the dining hall, like she pulls like out like a little packet of hot sauce and salt and pepper and like dill salt packets and like other like things to like season her food and shit. Here she just like takes a weenie, sticks it on a stick and holds it over the fire.
I was thinking like maybe she just has like smoothies and protein bars. Like she doesn't even eat the camp food.
Yeah.
But something like that. Like this is the first time we see her engage in camp culture.
I think that's a good like subtle growth thing that we can do throughout too.
Yeah.
Like have stages of that. Yeah, so Thursday morning is when they come back.
Do we want to have them walk back or do we want to have Ranger Bill drive them back?
He's going to drive them back.
In his ancient rusty pickup.
Yeah, because their climax is going to be
the killdeer moment.
Learning to trust him, learning what a killdeer is, and realizing that they survived on their own in the wilderness. Something that the boys couldn't even do.
Yeah.
So they're totally cool taking a ride back.
Yeah. And also one of them has an injured foot. Or something.
I would... leg or arm?
I'm thinking leg because it's going to hinder your movement.
Yeah. Foot?
I'm just thinking...
So it's not like
twisted ankle.
Yeah, I was thinking
Ankle's
like...
Ankle's good.
I literally tripped over a rock when one of my friends said, hey, there's a rock there, don't trip over it, so...
You would bet. And then we'll denouement after.
Let's go back and do the girls' path now.
Okay.
Do they... Obviously the Girl Scout is prepared, but...
She thinks she's prepared.
Yeah, she thinks she's prepared, but she only has enough stuff for herself, because she didn't think about it. But she should still have, like, an ankle wrap, because that's going to be important. And she'll have, like, maybe...
No, that's your neckerchief. That's why Scouts wear kerchiefs.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not just because we need the dork uniform. It's because you always have a triangle bandage ready and available.
So I'm thinking, like... I want to say they go into this overconfident. They bring enough food for a day, but like...
But it's like candy bars and chips. It's not like real food.
No, I would say like they take hot dogs and like some bread and some lunch meat, but they don't fully prepare. So like they're like, oh yeah, let's stop for lunch and we'll make sandwiches, and they make like big fucking Dagwood sandwiches, and they eat a bit too much, and they drink too many of those like little Hugs drinks in the barrels. And they're a little full, and they have a little nap. And they're like, this is only going to take a couple hours, and we'll be back in no time. And carry on. And then maybe by dinner time, they realize they didn't, like, ice their food, and it's starting to get spoiled.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't have enough for tomorrow when they end up not finding the thing. So, thinking back to Stand By Me, most of that movie is them just coming across obstacles on the way to their destination. So... Crossing a river, I think, is an easy obstacle. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is where the injury happens. So this happens sometime after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they get to the river as it's starting to get dark, and that's why the injury happens, because they're trying to cross too quickly, and one of them slips. I'm
thinking there's one of those rope bridges where it's 3 ropes going across the river, and like there's 2 at like waist height. And then the one that you balance on with your feet. You know what I'm talking about, Mark?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a monkey bridge.
Yeah, one of those.
Simple suspension bridge.
And I'm thinking the girl that gets injured dismounting that. Unless you want to do full Bridge to Terabithia here and really throw a monkey wrench in the...
No.
Okay.
We are not killing a child.
Or covering that movie on our other podcast. I don't want to cry. So I think maybe that's at, like, dusk-ish?
Because her not being able to continue to walk means they can't go back, they can't go forward, and they have to, like, stop for the night and realize, like, shit, we are trapped.
Yeah. So...
They set up tents for the first night.
Yeah, they set up tents. They're not, like, quite good at doing it yet. Maybe only one of them gets set up properly, so they all have to share a tent. They try to make a fire, but they can't keep it going because they keep grabbing, like, damp wood from the river.
Yeah.
Or you know,
green wood, or it just, yeah.
They just don't have enough materials or knowledge to keep the fire going.
All they have left is, like, a banana and an orange, and they split them.
And, like, they eat, like, a sad, cold pack of hot dogs because the fire's not hot enough to cook them. And that's, like, all the leftover food they have.
Yeah.
And I would say it's, like, a rough night with not a lot of sleep because animal sounds. They don't realize how, like, even though they think they're in the wilderness in the cabin, they don't hear, you know, wolves and owls and, you know...
Every forest sound
how loud the forest can be at night. Mm-hmm. And maybe they get scared there.
I'm reminded of a funny tweet that I had seen a while ago about a country person's experience watching horror movies. When city folks always go out, like, yeah, those noises come from the woods. You learn to ignore them. Yeah, sometimes the woods just call out to you. You know what you do? Don't go out there. If you get got, frankly, that's on you.
Mark, have you seen a movie called Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I have. I really liked the first third of it.
The first third to 2/3 is fucking brilliant, and then it just becomes another slasher movie at the end. I watched that today, so it's just fresh in my mind. But similar vibes of like, yeah, this is the woods. This is my vacation home. Why are you scared? Like,
if you get got, that's on you.
That's on you.
You just don't go out there.
You hear something whistle in the woods? No, you didn't.
So yeah, kids are scared, but they keep each other company. And I think we have some conversations here about, like, there's a good scene to be had here of how they get through the night. And it's what, like, coping mechanism do they, like, does Britney Spears start singing a Britney Spears song? Like, maybe she does, like, a sad rendition of Baby One More Time, and they all sing along to get themselves to sleep.
I think Smart Girl, who's, I think, is also the scout, I think she should be like, I don't even really like Girl Scouts. But my mom was a Girl Scout, so she makes me go.
No, I want her to fucking love scouting. She just doesn't know much yet.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I wish my mom would have let me start when I was 4 when I wanted to. I would have known so much more right now. All of these tents would be perfect. You'd have hot cocoa.
Yeah, I think she's also, like, rationalizing. She's like, that's an owl. Owls don't eat people.
That's a good idea. Have her being, like, do some rationalization.
And I think Dolly should...
The only thing is she can't know birds. Which is fine because there's a lot of different kinds of scouts.
Yeah.
I was a scout for an embarrassingly long number of years. I didn't know trees. I didn't know plants. I know some knots, but not as many as you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the new scout program director. I used to joke that I got that job because I'm not good at anything. But I'm okay at more things than anybody.
I would like for Scout, that this be a... like, the thing she learns in this is, like, okay, now I know what merit badges I'm going for. It's the stuff that would have helped me more on that thing, you know?
I also think it would be a funny joke if everything she says about the wildlife is wrong.
Like, they hear a wolf, and she's like, don't worry, wolves are terrified of running water, because they're still by the... It's like something that's just not true.
Yeah. Or, like, you hear something that's clearly an owl or something, and she's like, that is a coyote. And they don't eat people. Like,
yeah, just incredibly wrong, but confident.
Yes.
A log cabin fire is the best kind of fire for cooking because it provides a flat, level surface. It's not particularly good for cooking.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because they're not getting it lit anyway.
Yeah. I think that ultimately Dolly she has her diary, because of course she does. I think she should start telling a story, and that's what gets everybody else to sleep.
Yeah. She's a bit of a storyteller.
Yeah.
But it's a happy story.
Yeah. It's like, I'm thinking like Harriet the Spy is her like attachment to her diary, but that's because she wants to write stuff.
Yeah.
Like she wants to be a writer, but she doesn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, but this is her excuse to start telling a story. Maybe she tells a story about like
4 princesses who slay a dragon.
She starts telling the 12 dancing princesses and
yeah, she tells a story.
4 princesses who slay a dragon. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And we can do the similar to The Legend of the Killdeer. This part's animated, but it's like crayon.
Yeah. Like, maybe it's a story she started writing in her diary and hadn't finished yet. So she opens to that page, and her little drawings on the page come to life and tell the rest of the story.
Yes.
And she comes up with an ending here. That's a bit of growth.
Yes. I like that.
So next morning, they realize they're out of food, and they're all starving. So maybe they manage to catch a fish and cook and eat a fish?
Girl Scout wants to try to catch a fish, but she can't, and while they're trying, Dolly notices, hey, those are blueberries. I don't know what fucking grows in them.
Yeah, they find some healthy, good-to-eat berries.
Yeah. That
are safe to eat. They eat the berries, keep moving on. And I would say it's not that long into this day that they stumble across the guy's property.
Yeah.
Because I want this dude to have... I want Ranger Bill to have, like, a sprawling property where he has, like, a little orchard. Like, he lives off the land, basically. He doesn't need to travel much. He has his beat-down truck for the rare occasion he needs to go do something.
I think that it should be one of those things where everything looks better in the light, and it turns out they were a football field away from the fire watchtower. Like, they were that close, they just couldn't see it in the dark.
Yeah, something like that. Like, it's right there, and they realize they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So they eat their berries, they continue on their journey. They know they'll get it today, and they'll get home. They'll make their way home.
Yeah.
Scout Girl fashions a brace, a splint with her kerchief.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they take turns helping her walk, too.
Or, like, they even build her a crutch or something. And I think it would be the sporty girl that gets injured here.
Yes.
Because she would have a reckoning in the tent the night before about, like, my career as the first female kicker in the NFL is over, you know? Something like, have a meltdown and they talk her out of it.
I want there to be some tension around Bill before we get, I want them to be afraid of him.
Yeah, like, maybe they see him in...
When they're foraging for berries, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he would be up around dawn to, do some watching or something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe they see him in a tree with binoculars. And, because I think we established Dolly's from the city, too. Maybe she gets, like, a little stranger danger alert about it.
Yeah.
And maybe she's even the only one who sees him, because, like, he's up in a blind or something.
And she doesn't want to scare anybody else, so she doesn't say anything.
Until they continue moving. And then once they're, like, a bit away, they don't realize they're going towards his house.
Yeah.
And she's like, back there by the campsite, we need to be careful when we go back later. I saw a guy up in the tree, and he had binoculars. And I don't know what he was up to, but we need to stay together, and we need to be vigilant. We need to take care of ourselves,
Yeah.
They're still hunting a monster, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hunting a monster, but they don't want to get hunted by a different kind of monster on their way home.
I was thinking they even think he might be the monster.
Oh,
and that's part of why they're afraid of him.
She can't see him clearly. She just sees a big... Like, maybe he's wearing a big coat because it's kind of chilly in the mornings.
Yeah.
And
or
the
even,
binoculars,
like, a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know how hardcore this guy is.
Yeah.
Some bird people get a little cuckoo. That means 2 things.
A clock.
That's a bird pun.
Yeah, so... God, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so they continue on. Do we want an obstacle before lunch? Or nah?
I think maybe a first encounter with Ranger Bill when he's all gillied up.
Because I'm thinking this happens at lunch. Like, maybe she sees him in the morning when they're foraging for berries, and then does a double take and then doesn't see him again.
Yeah.
And it isn't quite sure she even saw him at all. And then when they get to basically his property, they stumble across, like, his garden or something. And they're like, oh, look, tomatoes and potatoes, and there's an apple tree over here. We can eat. We've got lunch. Hey, this seems a little too convenient. And then they turn around, and he's there, full ghillie suit.
Maybe he's got a deer hide that he's tanning.
Yeah, and it's like roadkill or something. Like, he didn't kill it.
Oh, yeah, like, he's got a...
No, he did kill it.
Oh, okay.
But this is like it's in season. We know that, like, it's in season, he's harvesting the meat. He's just living off the land. But what these girls just see is a big, scary, dead deer.
A monster dragging the corpse of a deer.
Yeah.
That's what they see. So they run and they hide in a bush. And they're...
No, they don't see him dragging it. They see it kind of there and spread out.
Like, it's just the
and
hide.
they run. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. They...
And they... So then they can get scared and run and then encounter him.
Okay. They stumble across his garden. Look, food. Scout. No, Dolly. I don't think these plants normally grow like this in this proximity to each other. This is too convenient. And then she looks down the coast a little bit and sees the cabin. She's like, oh, there's the cabin. We're at the Deer Kills cabin. How do you know it's the Deer Kills cabin? And then they turn and there's the hide. And then they scream and turn and behind them, there he is. And then they really freak out and they jump in a bush. And they're panicking. They're freaking out in this bush. And...
Maybe it's not even a bush. Maybe they just run back into the edge of the forest.
Yeah, like into the edge of the woods and hide in some plant life or something. Because then I'm thinking of, like, then she recognizes, oh, this is poison ivy, guys. Shit. You know.
I think we're getting close to what's like the climax.
Yeah. So, okay, maybe scrap the poison ivy bit. So they go back, like, into the woods a little bit. And I think this is where they need to start their plan to get the killdeer. This is where they have to, you know, case the joint and figure out how they're going to go in and get him.
Sporty girl decides she's going to be the bait. Because she can't do what she was going to do before, which was just, like, shoulder tackle him. Because she can't run. So she'll be the bait. And that's her character growth.
Yeah. But she turns out to be a good planner. Because she knows NFL plays. Can you tell the NFL season has kicked off during this recording? To date it a little bit. So they come up with their plan. And I want it to just be like... The scene where they come up with the plan is like some music swells and we don't hear what they're saying, but they're animatedly talking and she's making notes and they're drawing like diagrams in the dirt and stuff. And all the plan is sport.
Maybe this is another animation thing.
Because we do need...
No, because I want a joke here. I want the plan to just be sport is the bait. And then she comes out and she goes, oh no, I'm hurt and so weak and vulnerable to attack. And he hears that, obviously, and he comes out to help the little girl, and the other four just jump on him. And that's the whole plan, is they're just going to jump on him.
I have an idea
or a tiny, hastily, shoddily played net. Like...
I have an idea for the third cartoon that's in the denouement later. What if it's the shitty tent they couldn't set up? They just, like, try to tarp him.
I also have an idea for the third cartoon later.
Yeah.
So the reason I was thinking doing this as a cartoon, it's first she draws it in the dirt, and then the stick figures that she draws animate as she talks through the rest of the plan. And part of the plan is Scout makes like a snare trap to catch him by the leg, and we see as they talk through the plan, you know, what you said. Oh, I'm so weak and vulnerable to attack. I hope no killdeer monsters get me. And then when he comes out, rah, 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 that's when he steps on the snare, and in the cartoon, it, you know, like the cartoon yoinks him up and he's hanging by the ankles, and then the other girls come out and we hit him with sticks. But then when they actually do the plan, this fucking sapling snare trap shit, that doesn't work.
Like, so the plan, as shown in the cartoon, is I want it to be incredibly elaborate. Like, sport. You're gonna be the bait. Scout, you set the snare trap. We're gonna grab him and do this. Brittany, you're gonna scream as loud as you can in his ears to make him deaf so that he's disoriented and doesn't know where we... And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hog tie his hands behind his back. And then we're gonna muzzle him. And then from there we're gonna, like, you know, cut him down. We're gonna put him on a cart. We're gonna drag him back to camp. Or we'll put him in a boat and we'll sail across the lake straight back to camp. And we'll be heroes. And, like, they even have, like, a parade at the end of the animation or whatever. And they're like, all right, ready. And then we just jump to the plan happening. And he steps on the snare trap and just, like, breaks it immediately. And he's like, what? And then they just run out and start hitting him with, like, weak sticks. And he's like, ow, stop. What is going on? Children, please. What are you doing?
I know that we're not at casting yet, but either Harrison Ford or J.K. Simmons.
Oh, my God. Okay. So that works then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he can, like, as they're hitting him, what are you doing? Where did you girls come from?
And yeah, like, oh, we came from Camp Killdeer, and we came to get the killdeer and, make sure that...
And I don't think they call it a killdeer anymore. They call it call it the monster.
Yeah. Oh, the monster. What monster are you out here hunting? Oh, the monster of Camp Killdeer. The killdeer. That's you, isn't it? You have the deer, and you live in the cabin.
And he just points to the deer skin, and there's, like, a bunch of white birds.
No, he just...
I want the explanation of what a killdeer is to come later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want this to be the scene where they're sitting at the edge of the pier with their feet in the water. As, like, Dolly's just explaining to him why they're there. Because I guess the rest of them are sleeping and whatnot. But yeah, we came to get the killdeer. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I hear a lot of stories coming out of that camp, and some crazy things happened over the years. And I understand you wanted to do something brave, and whether or not you catch the monster, don't you think you did something brave? You girls have survived 2 days on your own in the woods, and you're, what, 10, 11 years old? I think that's pretty brave. I don't see those boys out here on their own.
That's not something a scared little lamb would
Yeah,
do.
that's not something a terrified little lamb would do. And I don't think you're much of a sheep at all. You're a bit of a leader. You guys are a bit of wolves. I mean, I've got the bruises to show for it. Something. Have that heartfelt moment here.
I know that we're not even close to casting yet, and I actually want to throw something else, Cody. Instead of a J.K. Simmons or a Harrison Ford, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, America's dad.
They're hitting Mr. Rogers with sticks.
They don't know it's Mr. Rogers, though. That's why they're doing it.
And I think here's the moment where we get his story of when he was at camp. And maybe he tells the truth. He's like, you know what? I'm old enough to have been at that camp the first year it opened. And I was in the deer cabin. And do you know why the deer cabin isn't there anymore? It wasn't a monster. It was, and I don't want it to be burning down, but I want there to be, like, something he did that was stupid as a kid. It was, it was the last night of camp, and we decided to throw a big party. And we invited everybody into the camp for an all-night, just hang out and listen to music and dance. And we didn't know much back then, and those floors just weren't built for 300 kids. And the whole cabin collapsed, and... Because I'm thinking, like, he did something that's the real reason for the curfew rule, or a different camp rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead of that, I want it to be, like, really mundane, and not even related to learning a lesson. Just, there used to be a deer cabin, but when they expanded the mess hall, they needed the space, so they tore down deer cabin to make room.
Yeah, they made too many cabins and not enough space in the mess hall, and they... Every day that first summer, half the kids had to eat outside, because there just wasn't space inside. They completely didn't count on how much room kids took in the 60s. So they tore down deer cabin.
It got turned into the administration building. Like something.
They didn't have a medical facility. Third day of camp, some kid broke his leg, and no one knew what to do. And there's only one car at camp to take him to the hospital, so we got him to the hospital. But what happened if another kid get hurt? We had to open an infirmary. So we figured, tear down Deer Hall, build the infirmary. Then we could treat kids on site instead of running them into town every time somebody got a boo-boo. That works. I think that's...
Yeah. I don't know if this is too much, but look at the sign when you go back, and there should be a little deer carved into the infirmary sign.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So it's getting late. Do your counselors know you're here? They must be mighty worried about you by now. I got a phone in the cabin. How about we go give them a call? And this is when the two lines kind of intersect a bit. They come to an understanding that it's starting to get dark. The girls can camp out on my property tonight, and then I'll drive them back to camp tomorrow morning.
Maybe while he and Dolly are having this conversation, it ends with, it's starting to get dark. I better get you girls back to camp. And he turns around, and they've already set up a tent in his yard, and they're already asleep.
I want them to sleep under the stars this night.
Okay. Then, yeah, that's fine. Like, we'll set you up out here tonight, and we'll get you back to camp.
And that's one of the girls' idea.
Dolly's idea.
The only thing is with sport, if it's got to be one of the girls, there's got to be a reason more so than let's just stay another night, because they have an injured child. Unless he's already done actual medical on her.
I think he checked it, and he should tell Scout that she did a great job. It looks like it's just a sprain. You didn't break anything. Let me give you some aspirin for the swelling or whatever.
Like, oh, was this your first splint? This is a great first splint. And then maybe he gives her a pointer of like, next time do an extra like wrap here for extra stability, or use this kind of wood. It's a little bit stronger. Like, Sport's pretty light. She's not going to break this flimsy twig, but a bigger kid's going to need a thicker, something like that. Like, she gets a little learning lesson out of it there.
Yeah.
Then, they camp out under the stars.
I want Dolly to ask him why he was dressed so weird earlier, and for him to explain the birding thing, why he was in a ghillie suit earlier.
Yeah.
The first time he saw them and scared him. And he can show her the suit and say, I use it to watch birds, because birds get scared away.
Yeah, if they don't see me, then I can see them closer.
And that should be the reveal of this should be where it's revealed there's a killdeer, or what the killdeer is, because I think a bird should...
I think that is the next morning when he's driving them back into camp. I think Sport and Dolly are in the truck, and the other three are in the back. Mm-hmm. And when they go up the gate, or when they're approaching the gate, he's like, do you want to know how Camp Killdeer got its name? And she's like, well, I know that a monster didn't kill a cabin full of boys, so no, how did it get its name? And he's like, well, you see that bird on the sign? That's called a killdeer. Bet you didn't know that. Bet the boys didn't know that either. Just something like little like that. And then the audience realizes that bird is all over the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I think all the girls are in the back of the truck, and that back truck window is open, and Dolly's just kind of hanging in, talking to him.
Sport's got to be in the truck.
Yeah, Sport's in the
because
truck
she's
her
injured.
Ankle.
She's not putting. She is buckled in.
She's buckled in, and she has her leg propped up.
Yeah. All right. So our things have conjoined,
and maybe instead of just that's where the camp got its name, she asks him what his favorite bird is, and he can tell her. Does he tell her that his favorite bird is the killdeer, or maybe he points?
I think he smiles. Knowingly, and just says, I don't really have a favorite. But, we know, he's a killdeer guy.
No, because, we need to get that explanation.
That the killdeer is a bird?
So I think she asks him, what's your favorite bird?
Oh, that's how we get... And he points at the one on the sign. And she's like, oh, what kind of bird is that? Oh, no, she goes, oh, a finch. We saw one of those the other day. And he's like, no, that's not a finch. It's a killdeer. That's how the camp got its name. Yeah, okay, I like that. That's stronger than what I had said before. All right, so now... our stories are conjoined.
Mm-hmm.
Bo and Dolly need to have another moment of, they both have grown and they're, not the same people that met on the first day 4 days ago. Maybe one of the wolves comes and apologizes.
The one who gave the cabin in there's a cabin past the fire watch. It's like, you went all the way there?
Yeah, they become camp legends.
I think there needs to be another day of, activities, but they do much better this time. Scouts showing everyone how to wrap splints.
Yeah, we repeat that montage of day one, but it's the Friday, and they're all in their elements basically. All the girls are doing what they're good at.
Yeah, and they're also much more confident.
Sport is whipping Bo's ass at tennis. She's in a wheelchair and just kicking ass at tennis, stuff like that. And then Saturday morning, they get on the bus to go home and say their goodbyes. I don't think we need to... the poignant thing I want to do at the end is a mid-credit where it's the next year, and their story is now being told as a legend on opening night. Or it's 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, and they tell the story of those who hunted the killdeer. And their legend has grown into, that 4 princesses and the dragon thing. And maybe all 4 of them are still working at the camp or involved as counselors or something.
Would it be too much to have Roberta still there, but holding like a toddler?
No, if it's... 10, 15 years later, Bo's kid is at camp.
Yeah.
Baby Bo. And maybe Dolly is her Emily, and the cycle repeats.
Yeah.
I think that's a strong ending. Anything else you want to flesh out, Mark, before we get into casting?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how we would convey that.
Convey that it's Bo's kid?
Yeah. And Dolly.
Just 15 years later, with Bo bringing her child to camp. She's like, I'd like you to meet your counselor. This is Dolly. She'll be... your counselor this year.
That makes sense.
Maybe Bo is the camp director now.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think she would fully Hallmark movie her life around. I think she would, but she would appreciate what the camp taught her and want her child to have that.
Yeah.
And Himbo still works at camp.
Of course. And Dolly, it's easy, just cast someone who's aged up. Like, you can easily do that with, like, the last shot is Dolly, and then when it cuts back, it's older Dolly, like 15 years later.
Yeah.
And just make sure you cast, like...
Or like, we see Bo, like, say goodbye to Bo Jr., and Bo Jr. gets shuffled into the sheep cabin, and like, hi, I'm your counselor, my name's Dolly. And I used to be at this camp too. I started out as a sheep just like you, and, you know, warmly welcome her in.
Yeah.
And then and we don't even hear the story, but it ends with the story of the 4 that killed the killdeer, or something like that.
Yeah.
On that opening night scene. Yeah. All right, casting?
I think we agreed with kids, it's just, like, types.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything with the kids.
Yeah.
We established archetypes, we just find kids that fit those archetypes. Ditto with older Dolly. It's one scene, just somebody that looks similar to that kid.
Yeah.
Really, Bo, Himbo, Ranger Bill, camp director, we can stunt cast. Maya Rudolph for camp director.
Okay. I know we've already thrown out, I personally have thrown out 2 and Mark threw out 1. Brendan Gleeson for Ranger Bill. He has the same vibe as Tom Hanks in that he's nice, but he's also a little bit scarier looking than Tom Hanks.
I do like Brendan Gleeson for that.
Because he has dad vibes, but...
Oh, Emily, we need Emily.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's her name? Beanie.
Beanie Feldstein?
Beanie Feldstein for Emily.
I feel like she's too enthusiastic.
I think that would make it really funny if she's just like, whatever. But then when she has moments where she starts to freak out, like, she really leans into it.
That would work.
Do you know Beanie Feldstein, Mark?
Yeah, she was in Drive Away Dolls.
Yes, she was. Okay, perfect.
The other option I would throw out for Emily in terms of the Aubrey Plaza would be like Jenna Ortega. But that's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
I like Beanie Feldstein, though.
Yeah, a little different.
I like Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, because she's the Aubrey Plaza.
She's closer to Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, no, Jenny Ortega's right. Jenna, not Jenny, excuse me. You're right. Yeah, let's go with her.
Is Beanie Feldstein old enough to be Roberta?
No, she's not old enough to be Bo. Well, yeah, she is.
She has a baby face, but she also has that kind of like try hard shininess.
Yeah, let's do Beanie Feldstein for Bo.
Because I mean, in what was the fucking movie that you watched the other night with her in it?
Booksmart or
Booksmart. The whole point of Booksmart is that she's a try hard bitch who's trying to calm down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like her for Bo. Unless Mark has another suggestion.
Nope. How about Bo?
Himbo? Do we want to go back to Booksmart and the Skylar Gizondo, who played Jared in Booksmart?
I feel like he has more of a baby face than Beanie does.
He does, but I feel like I need to see if he ever grew a beard. Because I feel like him with a beard would be just like a delightful himbo. The other one, yeah, I just like pulling from movies I've watched recently because they're movies I've watched recently. Lucas Hedges, who played Danny in Lady Bird.
I'm sorry, Skylar Gizondo. I looked at his pictures in IMDb to see if there's any of him with a beard, and my first thought seeing this one was, well, there's plenty of hair on him in this one. He was in Air Buddies. Just a dog.
This is one where I would tell the casting director, like, find men in their mid to late 20s with beards. Like, just for whatever reason, I assume he has a beard.
Yeah. He's got lumberjack vibes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need then?
Did we settle on Ranger Bill?
I'm cool with Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, I'm okay with Brendan Gleeson.
Okay.
And were we cool with Maya Rudolph as the camp director?
If we don't do Maya Rudolph, I want to do Gwendolyn Christie.
I think Maya Rudolph will stand out a little bit more. Like in, what movie? Adventureland, the theme park directors were, I think it was like Kristen Wiig and somebody else. And they were only in like 4 scenes, but they fucking stand out.
Was it Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader?
I think it was. Yeah, I don't think we need to cast anybody else.
Hang on. I'm trying to look up some pictures to see if this is a good thought or not for the camp director. Uzo Aduba. Uzo space Aduba. I saw her in The Residence, where she plays a quirky detective. Those pictures of her in tweed.
Yeah, I could see her, if she wasn't older than I am, I could see her actually as Bo. But
Camp director.
It could work. Yeah, I like it.
We've got a 3 degrees of separation from 4 degrees of separation from her.
Less. Like 2. How are you getting there? Because I auditioned for Orange is the New Black, and she was in it.
I was going to say she was in a Lynn Nottage play.
Oh, yeah. Only a couple then. I'm cool with her.
Cool.
Who's Duba?
And I think then that's it for casting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just need a title on this bitch. I already have a poster
Camp
idea.
Killdeer.
Okay, and then the poster is just the archway over the entrance road.
Yep. Does this one need a tagline?
Memories that last a lifetime.
Okay.
We've got a
That was
sincere
pretty easy.
tone. Might as well be sincere with it, right?
It almost, Memories That Last a Lifetime almost feels a little slashery.
It could be, but like tonally, nothing else about. Like the poster's gonna have like a bright blue sky and green grass and, you know, the bright yellow school bus coming in under the gate.
Yeah.
And is this a summertime movie?
Absolutely summertime. Like June, July.
I was going to say, is this a May release so all the
No.
kids see it when they...
No, June or July. This is dead summer. I like it. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this one's fun.
Yeah, we went somewhere new, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done camp. We haven't... I mean, we've done coming of age, but not quite like this, so... Yeah.
And nobody bleeds.
Well, real blood.
Oh yeah, the ketchup.
All right, so I guess the only thing left to do then is to get some climbing ropes and some spray paints and spray this all up over the Hollywood sign until we get enough interest from producers. But until that happens, this has been The Treatment, a podcast about stories. And we've been your hosts, Mark Lucas,
Billy Beck.
And Cody Beck.
and we'll see you at the movies.